Sounds good. All right, we are live here at the TF Labs Niftmint office. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. So welcome to TF Labs Niftmint. We're here for what's in store in 2024. And I'm messing this thing up real quick. 2025. Why? It's because what's in store for 2024 rhymes. And it is 2025. So you're right. Thank you, Mike Hansen. I appreciate you. So for those online and those here, we're TF Labs. We've been doing this for about 7 years here in the Pacific Northwest, and we have events really throughout the country. Our whole goal is how do we make sure that we bring this out into the forefront. And Niftmint is a company that we spun out. That's where I spend the most of my time. Aaron spends the most of our time. Our goal is really how do we make sure that we're not here on the Niftmint side to teach people about Web3. We just think Web3 and tokenization provides a much better product experience. So when we talk to brands, for example, about what we're doing at Niftmint, never do we say, hey, like, we want to teach you how to use a Web3 wallet, or we want to teach you how to, download download a crypto wallet, or how to buy crypto. What Niftmint does, for those that aren't aware, is we do product authentication for brands. So we create a digital twin of a physical product. So imagine you bought a Louis Vuitton purse, you would get a digital Louis Vuitton purse. And the whole purpose of that is to serve as a one-to-one product authentication at that exact purchase product. And then we create incentives for you to actually earn based off of how you use that. And so when we talk to a brand, we're really talking about the value proposition of how they can get a better understanding of their consumer usage, or they can help prevent $3 trillion worth of counterfeit goods that happen in the market. Now, all that to say, we think that there are very interesting crypto use cases out there where you have to have crypto wallets and you have to have these sort of things. But our whole philosophy and position is we just think the technical aspects of crypto can provide a much more secure experience. And as long as you have a front end layer, on that to support that, just like if I pull out my phone, I don't look at my Uber app and say like, oh my God, I'm so glad this is on AWS right now. And, this infrastructure that they use is so key to my experience. We think similar for how a lot of, crypto technology is. So the purpose to get into what we're doing today, the purpose of today is just to share and talk about what we think are some of the things that are going to be happening in 2025. I'm going to invite a couple people to come up and talk about these sort of things as well. I took some notes here of just different things that ChatGPT predicts will happen in 2025. So as far as Bitcoin price, it's saying somewhere between 160K to 180K by the end of 2025. Regarding institutional adoption, Bitcoin is no longer considered a niche investment. Institutionalization of crypto markets has led to increased adoption, with portfolios holding Bitcoin consistently outperforming those without. It's something that all of us in this room have known for quite a bit of time. The U.S. embracing Bitcoin. So President Donald Trump is the first pro-Bitcoin, pro-crypto president. So that's pretty interesting, for our industry. There's a lot of talks about having a Bitcoin reserve. And so we'll see what happens there. Stable coins have become more and more popular, being talked about a lot. At Niftmint, we actually just announced a product at the end of last year called Stable Coins for Brands, where our intention is to help and support brands in creating their own stable coins to be used as, loyalty and other methods of payment throughout their ecosystems. Tokenization of real-world assets. So we're hearing a lot about that last year, tokenizing financial assets, tokenizing real estate, tokenizing stocks, bonds, these sort of things. Really has started to take off last year in the financial sector. What Niftmint does is we tokenize real world assets for content and products. Let's see, regulatory developments. So the US is expected to implement more crypto-friendly policies. Did anybody see what happened on Friday night with TrumpCoin? No? So I'm excited to talk about that with people here on stage. But Donald Trump him and his team issued a meme coin called Trump, or official Trump, and it went up high fast. And it's already listed on Coinbase. And, for a token to get listed on Coinbase takes quite a bit of time, not 4 days or however long it's been usually. So that'll be interesting. And let's see what else it says. DeFi innovation. So decentralized finance is anticipated to reach all-time highs. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started right away then. And I want the first person that comes up is a gentleman that I had to drag out here. And his name is Jesse Adams. Come on, Jesse. Woo! Jesse. Yeah, he has his cookie. I just want to make sure I can hear you and I can see you. Come sit close to me. What's up, Jesse? How you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Welcome. Do us a favor and introduce yourself to those who are watching online and to those in the audience.
Okay. So my name is Jesse Adams. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Uprock.com. Uprock is a mobile-first DePIN on Solana. I think we're the largest. We have about 2.65 million installs around the world. We basically want to unblock the internet, provide a way to make people make passive income while they sleep with our apps. Essentially, people, AI agents or LLM models or people who need to crawl the internet at scale can do these through its localized applications on your device, and that's what DePIN is about. So yeah.
Nice. Real quick, I forgot, for everybody here in this room, and if you're watching, can you just do us a favor? Can you look for me on either Twitter or LinkedIn and just reshare this this live that we're doing? So just go on your socials real quick and just comment and share it out. Is that me right there? Oh no, that's someone else. Oh. Oh, okay. Listening in. Oh, okay. I hope we're gonna get in trouble with him.
This is nice setup.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. You can see us there.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you wouldn't mind, just I'm on Twitter. I'm at JG Product and at Niftmint and so forth. But yeah, do us a favor, or LinkedIn, just comment. And thank you everybody that's watching along. So Jesse, apologize for interrupting you there.
It's okay.
Can you do us a favor? What is DePIN for those that aren't aware of DePIN?
So DePIN is a term that Messari, a research firm in crypto, coined, and it's decentralized physical infrastructure. So it's kind of a mouthy term, but essentially it's like everyone has some kind of device in their pocket or a home that's able to connect to the internet, and whether it's censoring something or collecting some type of data. And so when you tokenize those devices, you allow a lot of humans to collaborate and coordinate for some type of need for that network. So in our case, where it's unused bandwidth, where people need to scrape the internet at scale, you can do weather devices, it can be energy devices. But what's amazing about DePIN is because it's physical with the virtual, it really hits home why crypto is useful in real life, because it brings the virtual. Like, just people understand that your phone's kind of always on, does something. So the fact that you can say, hey, you can make some money while you sleep. And then that hits home. And everyone also knows that data is new oil. So that also is a message, and everyone's read that story somewhere. So either your grandmother knows that story, so they just kind of get it. So DePIN has been a great way to onboard crypto, new people to crypto for that reason. And then this AI agent storm that's coming, everyone knows AI just needs more compute, more bandwidth, those two things, and more data. And so whatever the data is coming from, whether it's, again, physical devices like a commodity device like your phone, everyone has those, or specialized hardware like a device you buy, like a mining device, Helium network device, or a Bitcoin, whatever. You want to be able to have a lot of people, a whole swarm of people. And a lot of times you want local, more granular data, the better, and that's more lucrative, whatever it is, because just get higher resolution data, whether it's weather patterns or, like I said, local data scraping, and it's just more powerful. And this is why so many DePIN companies last year got tons of funding, and they all saw this AI world coming. So that's what DePIN is in a nutshell. It's really amazing because it bridges both of those worlds together.
Yeah, when you think about decentralized physical infrastructure, or this notion of earning for unused, that was very much a promise of blockchain.
Yeah,
I think for a lot of years.
Yep.
I remember people talking about that in 2017.
Yeah.
But it, just recently has come to fruition.
Yeah. Now everything's, I mean, the term is like a little overused now.
Yeah.
But the main point is decentralized physical infrastructure. You have a community that's all collaborating towards some common goal to fulfill some kind of business need. And that's why it's so powerful. And so the slicker you can make that onboarding experience and sell that story, the faster you can get on board. So we're doing a pretty good job of that part. And then the second part that's really hard for DePIN is you can get a ton of people to earn your token, but can you get a ton of people to buy the data or the collective resource that that community has built up together? So the hard part of DePIN projects are like, can we actually make revenue with all this data we've collected through the community? And also or is there a real reason to buy your token? And so this is a challenge for every DePIN project. You know, you can give out tokens free, but will people want to buy it and give you money too?
Yeah. And where can people learn more about what you're doing?
So it's uprock.com is where you can go. Yeah, it's just on the web. And but yeah, so I think this year, speaking of like trends for 2025, last year so many companies got funded by DePIN or for DePIN. This is your year where they have to prove themselves, like they've been kind of heads down building, ourselves included. Now we have to actually show that we deliver. That's this year, really. Yeah. And then also, I think meme coins still are going to be at where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about.
I feel like everyone's here has missed out on TrumpCoin. Otherwise, you'd be on an island right now.
The TrumpCoin thing is hilarious because I didn't know if it was real at first.
I know.
When I saw the
So
post that came out. That is so annoying because when it came out, I was like, okay, is this real or not?
Yeah.
And then I'm in a couple different meme coin channels.
Yeah.
Shout out to Justin Wu. And I didn't know. And then I woke up in the middle of the night. I was like, I'm too lazy. And then it just in the morning it took off. So
I mean, the good thing about that is we have I have 3 companies. I have one in Seattle, I have one in Romania for the token, and I have a Delaware corporation for no reason, I think. And we all have to do that if you're an American company because we're so scared. And so the fact that Trump just launched his own meme coin, which tells me I think this year going to be a lot more entrepreneurs that'll launch their own token because if the president can do it, why not us? And also it's good as a startup because you're not going to waste all your money on lawyers because those lawyers will gouge. If you raise $1 million, they're going to take like 100 grand just so you feel safe. And even the lawyers don't even know what they're doing. You know, they're just covering their ass. Well, so I think this one good thing is that you just won't spend so much on legal fees because Trump just said, fuck it. Let's go.
So, I mean, that's interesting too, right? Because, even just because your lawyers put it all together doesn't mean you're protected anyway. Like there's been plenty of cases that people pay a lot of money on lawyers. Yeah. And then they're still getting hit because it was regulation by enforcement. Yeah. Right. As opposed to having any sort of rules. But when the president of the United States launches a speculative meme cryptocurrency, you'd like to think that makes it easier for other people. Obviously, you don't want things to get crazy and just random people doing random.
Yeah. I mean, you still don't want to be reckless and overpromise and do all the wrong things. But even then, you would say, hey, we'll be safe and we won't promise, we won't make these statements. Even then, people still felt so nervous to launch their company here.
Oh, 100%.
So you do all this crazy stuff in other countries like I did, and it's just such a waste of time and money. And like, if you don't have connections in that country, then you feel very nervous because like, is it really your company or not? So then you spend more to make sure it's your company, and it's just a waste of time and money. So so that's a good thing, whether you like him or not. I think it's very pro like entrepreneur in crypto space.
I definitely would agree with that. Yeah, he's essentially the first Bitcoin president or first president that has been supportive of crypto to start out their campaign. Sorry, their term. Yeah. And so it'll be interesting to see how that continues to play out. And frankly, I believe the U.S. has needed this because a lot of the innovation was going overseas. Like we know countless founders who left the U.S. To go to Asia to start their companies or continue their companies. And so I think we'll be able to keep innovation in the cryptocurrency, blockchain space, Bitcoin space, here in the U.S.
Yeah, the whole last 2 weeks just been crazy. The fact that XRP is up too, and the most hated rally. I just faded that thing for so long. That's up, and then just you never know what to expect. But overall, I'd say it's positive for anyone who wants to be in this space, and you just got to embrace the chaos of crypto if you want to be part of it, because otherwise, it'll drive you crazy. Yeah.
All right, so we talked about meme coins. What else do you think happens in 2025?
I think the let's see. So the pro crypto, the deregulation is great. I think the meme coins will still be strong, and I think the AI agent thing is more than a fad. I kind of go back and forth on that because if I ask everybody on this, everyone here, does anyone actually use the AI agent? Why there's like, besides like automatically, not just you have to proactively ask it to do something, you'll actually give it a task and let it do stuff while you sleep with your money or something like responsible. You do? That's cool.
Well, I mean, I'm starting to use it for research.
Yeah.
And it generating things like a research paper that like a high schooler would have taken 2 weeks and like have works cited,
Yeah.
things like that, and it generates that in a minute.
Yeah.
And then to be able to have that as a referenceable document and then like share it even internally for like an internal discussion of like, should we go with platform A or should we go with platform B?
Yeah.
And we're trying to decide which platform to go for.
Yeah.
It's like, instead of all of us taking a week and like going and doing our own research and then coming back and having another meeting about it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, by the way, here's the research.
Yeah.
Read the research.
Yeah, yeah.
Take like 10 minutes to read it, and then maybe do a little bit of your own searching, and then like, what do we feel? Let's make a decision.
Yeah.
And that decision can be made in 2 hours as opposed to 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, I do that. So I do that with Google Ads or just ads in general. So in the past, I'd have to make, take me forever to design like 20 ads and put in like 5 ad groups. Now I can literally make 500 copy text, 500 images, 200 ad groups, and then I'll just let them all compete. And I can do that in a day or two. That would take months before in an agency. So that's cool. But like, so I think, but like to trust it to write emails for you or like trade $100 to like dump it into TrumpCoin while you sleep. I think maybe that'll happen this year. Maybe, yeah. That'd be interesting to see if people trust the AI to speak on your behalf or spend on your behalf. Yeah, that'd be interesting because you can type. If that happens, then it will unlock a lot of DeFi stuff. And and then the last thing prediction I would say is because of the pro crypto stance now, I think we're gonna see someone who filled the gaps of FTX that's a little bit more flexible than Coinbase. Because right now, if you want to participate in all these fun meme coins, Coinbase is like so late in the game. So you're doing Pump Fun and you're doing Jupiter and all that stuff. If you can find if someone I think there's a space where someone come through and be like very legal, a little more fun, like a DeFi, CeFi hybrid mix, and they're based in America when they're way more flexible, so they can do all the cool meme coins that comes from Pump Fund or wherever. Then they could, you'll see someone all of a sudden like eat Coinbase lunch really quickly because Coinbase is so boring. It's just the top 100 tokens. There's no place in America where you can actually feel safe to get like the top 2,000 or the cool new ones.
So,
all the innovative experimental stuff, Coinbase doesn't touch, and it goes to every other exchange or like like Cube Exchange or Jupiter, all that stuff. So that'd be interesting to see like a real competitor in America.
If Bittrex was still around, right?
Yeah, like a Bittrex. Yeah,
Bittrex like would have.
They could have survived if they hung through and then doing some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Question
about that.
Yeah. If AI is doing that for me and then it's doing it for everybody, then what's the value?
So if the
Trump coin because this is going on.
Yeah.
Now everybody's on AI and using
the
same.
I think it would be like market makers. So there are market maker bots, and some are smarter than others, and the really smart ones, you only hear about. So it's hard to access them because they're basically multi-million-dollar market making bots, and so they're not going to sell their technology. But they're the ones that front run everybody. I think. Yeah.
This is the same problem that algorithmic traders have.
Yeah.
Which would inevitably happen with AI. So if you're an early adopter, you're probably going to win until other people start using the same algorithms.
Yeah.
This is just a common thing with algorithmic trading. When everybody starts using the same algorithm, in this case, the same AI,
yeah,
the returns diminish.
So what you're saying is it changes nothing.
But here's a couple of things where it changes. So so for one, just being able to know how to get the stuff, that's a huge hurdle. So for now, like my friends, I do crypto crash course for my friends. I'll tell them to go Coinbase, then load up because that's usually the fastest on ramp. Then tell them to send $100 to like Phantom or some wallet, and then they can have some fun. And so even that whole process is annoying to explain. But beyond that, if they want to check a wallet, and so I give them some like 10 steps to just don't get yourself screwed and scammed. And then they get a little more sophisticated. They'll look at the block explorer. They want to investigate a wallet address. Very soon, like probably very, very soon, instead of you having to go through a block explorer asking a dev friend, you can just paste the wallet address into an AI chat, and that AI chat will tell you a summary of that wallet address and what they bought for a while, probably give you a beautiful diagram of how that wallet is connected to these wallets. And then just set alarms like, can you watch this token? Who's buying it? Like today, all that is not democratized. There's a few companies doing like whale alerts and little things here and there. But overwhelmingly, if you want to be really smart, you're gonna have to look at the block explorer, and that is totally not democratized because it's just no one wants. It's annoying to read. And so if you can make it simple with a human interface, which AI can do, and just explain what's happening on chain, that'd be cool. And then you know, and then and then a lot of memes, you don't have to be the first if it's just a great community or a great project. It's okay to be a little bit late because you believe in it and makes money over time. So
So they say.
Yes, let's say. yeah, yeah, exactly.
Just
Go ahead, Mike.
a quick comment. I think everything that you just described
Yeah.
is like a perfect AI agent use case.
Yeah, yeah.
And then fleshing out the prompt engineering associated with that,
Yeah.
making that more robust. I think that's kind of like where I see the future of AI.
Yeah. So it'd be like
It's just like this thing that's ready to go.
Yeah.
And then like anytime that you come across that wallet address that you need more information,
Yeah.
you just like open up with like just the same way you like open up a new tab.
Yeah.
This, right? It's just like you just open that and go boom.
Yeah, new
and
chat,
you
not
know
new
exactly
tab,
what
new
you're gonna
chat.
get, right?
Yeah. And then if you think about Coinbase is so big. So imagine you just have your Coinbase wallet. You can talk to your Coinbase wallet like a friend. That's what AI can do. But Coinbase is so big that they'll probably take a long time to build that. So I think if a startup were say we're going to make the next centralized hybrid decentralized exchange, and it's a wallet you can talk to like a friend, that'd be the best customer support ever, and they could probably move faster than Coinbase does right now. Just because they're so big, and they're so slow. Like, I mean, the fact they launched TrumpCoin in 4 days is crazy. Because
That is crazy.
yeah, so that I think that could be in the 2025. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see that. One of the things, during the inauguration yesterday, you had a really interesting crescendo of events, right? So you have TrumpCoin being launched, you have the inauguration, and in the front row, you have all the tech tech founders and CEOs, right?
Yeah.
You have Bezos, Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Tim Cook.
Yeah.
Who else was there?
A lot.
They're all there,
Yeah.
basically, all in the front row. So it'll just be interesting to see, how that takes.
Apparently, he launched TrumpCoin at a crypto ball.
Elon. Yeah, at the crypto ball.
And no one knew about it.
Right.
So
there are people at the crypto ball or after
had no
that
idea.
complaining. They're like, "Hey, like we didn't get to participate."
It's a big flex. And then they launched. Then they launched MelaniaCoin.
Yeah,
which is wild. No one owns one here. Did anyone buy it? Trump or Melania? Yeah. Yep. Yep.
And then just yesterday, I was able to get Trump on
the Coinbase wallet, the decentralized one, the separate one. Yeah.
And so it was interesting when you talk about. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's it. Go ahead. Yeah.
When we talk about Bitcoin and we talk about the decentralized exchange with this particular president, there were a lot of presidents prior to that were pro crypto, just didn't make it publicly known because there was a lot of fear around what the American people may think.
Yeah.
This technology, the president, vice president, and their administration didn't know enough about.
Yeah.
Couldn't wax poetically about it or intellectually enough.
Yeah.
To make the American people feel safe to believe and get behind cryptocurrency.
Right.
And it's interesting now when we look at all the different L2s and different companies that promote Bitcoin and the safety of Bitcoin being one of the stable and safest cryptocurrencies on the planet.
Yeah.
It's really fantastic that we now have an opportunity as decentralized marketplace was built to be for the people that didn't generational wealth, and now we have an opportunity for people to truly have access to it because they have an administration that's saying, hey, we are pro X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
When you have all these other countries that have been pro crypto for quite a long time, America has fallen behind in that way because of past presidents.
Yeah.
And vice presidents. Again, because of that whole fear. It's like NFA.
Yeah.
I would never do NFA, so I want you to do your own research, but I'm going to give you some information on what you should research versus just saying, hey, go do your own research.
Yeah.
Because that, again, gives somebody a false sense of security.
Yes.
So that's one of the interesting things about it.
Yeah.
And what I feel 2025 is going to look like is meme coin heaven. And NFA, put in what you can, forget about it.
Yeah.
And put a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No. Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, I know some people don't like the fact that he launched a huge coin, and but I think overall it did onboard a ton of people. That it didn't stop serious people from building on the technology, so that's not like stopping at all.
That's really cool.
It actually encourages all of us. It really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the meme coin was here before him, and so and there's some really good podcasts and talks about meme coins. If you guys heard a guy named Murad, I'm guessing some people have heard of him. He probably had the best thesis on it. And I think some of his ideas are probably going to come to fruition this year too. But yeah, but just generally, I think just generally, just making it mainstream, and people have said they're going to support it, and just actions speak louder than words. And the fact that his whole family has skin in the game now, they all bought crypto. That's the best way they're real about it now. Yeah, because they're not going to fight for it because they paid for it. Yeah. 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 Yep.
So we can't forget that.
Yes.
It's like a lot of politicians have all been traders of cryptocurrency for quite some time.
Yeah.
So I don't want people to have the false impression that
Yeah.
this particular president has started something revolutionary.
Yep.
Because he really didn't. But it's great that he has the tech team that he has.
But what? Not to push back on you, but what president was pro crypto that I'm unaware of?
I believe they all were. They just weren't making it public.
Biden definitely was not. Like, I mean, any signal publicly, maybe in his private conversations with his family that no one ever got to hear or see, but like that feels very like.
Yeah.
They've talked about behind closed doors out of fear.
Yeah.
Of not being reelected because of talking about the boogeyman.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you had Elizabeth Warren, who of course is not, very, very anti, very, very anti crypto, like to the point, like, so, but yeah, obviously we don't know what people think closed doors, but I do think if you're a politician, you got to state, these types of financial positions, that you have overall. Jesse and I actually had a chance to go to Washington, D.C. last summer and politic a little bit, or what did we do? What do you call it?
We were lobbied for a day.
Lobbying, yeah, we lobbied for a day.
Coinbase sponsored a bunch of startup founders to go tell their story in DC. They said the best thing you can email, you can call, but if you showed up, that's the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
And so we just told our story, how their lack of regulations affecting all of us, like how much we spend on legal fees, and just say, hey, you're really impacting our startup. And it was a lot of fun. And so some of the people we spoke to,
we talked to,
clearly had no idea what they're talking about.
Right.
They just hated it.
And we got to talk to, like, for example, Maria Cantwell, who's one of the senators here in Washington, very liberal Democratic senator. And she was very open. Like, she's like, kind of like very much like, hey, I don't know what I don't know, but like, I do know that we need to be innovative. And I do know that we need to, like, we can't shut something down because we're afraid of it. So like, I thought she had like a very positive.
Oh, she did. She riffed ideas with us.
And she riffed ideas.
She's like, it'd be great for logistics. We have a report.
Yeah.
We can track things better.
Yeah.
She was just riffing. She was like, oh, you get it.
Yeah,
man.
she totally got it. So that was cool. And I think that's kind of like an example, maybe what you're saying, right? Is like, maybe she doesn't like publicly say, hey, I'm pro crypto, but like, she's definitely aware, of that.
They're trying to put themselves in a position to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that they can then bring it to their constituents in layman's terms. Like, I just got back from Bitcoin Tokyo and this was a lot of the conversation we were having, is how do we reach the layman? How do we reach the uneducated? How do we reach those people that are afraid of the boogeyman?
Yeah.
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 Cryptocurrency is the boogeyman to a lot of people, and it's like, no.
Yeah.
Banks are the boogeyman.
Yeah.
And the traditional banks are created to keep you poor.
Yeah.
Decentralized currency is created to help you
Yeah.
actually make some money and make some generational wealth.
And also, I think because it's so because you own your own keys, and one of the things, when I show my friends it, and they're like, "This is way too complicated," and I say, it kind of forces you to take more responsibility how to send money around, because you have to own your keys. And so, yes, it's a little more complicated, and I think that UI is going to get better. But the fact that you don't give it up, that power to a third party, which takes the wires and the way you're doing it in the past, it's actually important to learn how this is yours, and because it's yours, take more responsibility.
It's not more complicated than
Yeah.
the
Yeah, it's just so I think it's a good thing to learn. Like, oh, this is how things are sent around, and how it used to be, and how it is now. I think that's powerful.
I think it's powerful too.
Yeah.
I have the most pessimistic view on
Okay.
that, though. Like, I don't think the majority of people ever hold their own keys or have access to their own keys ever. I think that never happens.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever see a world where more than 50% of the population even has their own crypto wallet.
Yeah.
Now, they might have like through Coinbase or whatever, but as far as like someone having their private keys and writing it on a piece of paper and putting it in a vault
And sending with the pigeon.
Yeah, I don't think ever we get to a world where 50% of the population does that. And my pessimistic view also is, I think, where the banks get really involved, and maybe this isn't a 2025 prediction, but in the next few years, I think it's you go to JP Morgan Chase, and like that's where the majority of people will interact with their Bitcoin or so forth, right? It's through some sort of intermediary. So it's no different than how they might interact with stock or anything else. Now, all that to say, anybody that does handle their own keys and their own wallets and does all things will always have an advantage, right? Like, just like any other technology, any other type of experience, if you know the inner workings of something, you always have an advantage over those that don't. Right. So like, if you're a computer programmer, you know more about how something might work than if you just use the application.
Right.
Yep. What else? Anything else?
I think if AI takes over everything, then we should all start a bar and a therapy place. We'll lose our jobs. We'll go to a bar first. drink a lot, and then we'll recover. Like, this is bad for health. We go to therapy, and then we'll go back and forth. Yeah. That's the key.
Nice.
That's it.
Well, thanks, Jesse, for joining us.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'll invite Dinus up. Want to come up, Dinus? So that wasn't a very good cheer, so let's try that one more time. Welcome Dinus up.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
All right. And retweet for Dinus. So Dinus, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody?
Sure, everyone. Dinus Yuan here. I'm the founder of a project called Swim Finance. We do real-world assets tokenization and stable yield. We're a prestige company and launched our 2-batch products a couple months ago. Yeah.
Nice. Well, welcome. And so, tell us, how you think about RWAs in the finance sector and the things that you do. Like, what does that mean for?
Sure. I would say RWA tokenization or real-world assets tokenization is not a new concept. It's been around for a few years. The latest trend was in 2018. At that time, people called STO, which is like a secure token offering. A lot of people at the time try to tokenize real-world assets from real estate, a lot of those, some gold mines, commodities, etc. But I think at the time, all the factors not ready. Infrastructure was weak, not reliable. Gas fee was super high back then. You pay, I don't know, $50, $100 to do a small transaction. And the TPS was slow as well. You got waiting queue for the validators to prove the transaction. Also, at that time, the regulation is not even there, right? A lot of people try to work with the government, try to get license credentials. It's a painful process to work with the policyholders because they don't understand. And obviously, to Jesse's point earlier, they pay a lot of legal fees. I know a company, I think back in Portland, spent 2 years just to get certain license from the policyholders, and that's it. So at that time, it was not ready. There were definitely early experiments and pioneers. But I think now this cycle, things a little different. The government around the world learn about crypto a lot more. They understand it. They see the value, especially solid projects out there. There's some really interesting case studies in the industry, good examples. And I think now the government is starting to catch up. Last July in Europe, they have the first global crypto regulation put in place. It's called MiCA, markets in it's called crypto assets. Yeah, sorry. And then this year, if you see the news today, the new SEC chair, Mark Ueda, I think he just put a task force together. Literally today, I think we're going to start the US-based regulation for the domestic market. So that's something we can look forward to. All in all, I think real-world asset tokenization is a new trend. We take the small 2 to 3 trillion crypto market now, we open up the door. We go down to traditional world level, basically DeFi and TradFi and converging. A lot more assets are going to get on chain, start to sell or become available to global investors. And at the same time, a lot of the on-chain investors, whether it's individual or institutions, they used to prefer staying on-chain only. With small community, it's fun. But now with all the industry ups and downs, volatilities, and certain problems for certain players like FTX, now we see a lot more industry players in crypto and not welcome the opportunity in TradFi. So for example, US Treasury bills, now it's over $3 billion transaction since 2023, roughly up 2 years, from almost zero to over $3 billion transaction so far. Yeah, so that's how the two industry or two worlds, crypto and traditional, are converging. And now I think with Trump being the president, obviously he's pro-crypto. We can foresee a lot of regulation getting relaxed, and also a lot more legit people from traditional banking, Wall Street, to Silicon Valley tech firms coming to this place. Yeah, all that's going to be very helpful.
Yeah, thanks for that breakdown there. So Dinas, we've seen each other. Obviously we both live in Seattle. We've seen each other multiple places around the world for different events and so forth. And one thing I've talked to you often about is kind of like how Asia sees crypto and so forth. And there was a time period over the last couple of years where a lot of founders had to go to Asia, whether they're US or have Asian ties. And I'm just curious of what your thoughts are for 2025. Do you think, is that even going to be necessary anymore for US based companies to have an Asia tie, or can they just basically rely on the US, or is that what's your opinion on that overall?
Yeah, it's a good question. Interesting one. I think I'm a little biased. I was born and raised in Asia, but live in the US for over 20 years now, kind of half and half. I do think with Trump being elected and the upcoming regulation framework in the US becoming more friendly, the shift in ecosystem, the influence is going to be really interesting. I do think it will be becoming more westernized, especially led by US. But we have to wait and see, right? Because Trump just got in office this week. There are a lot of things we don't know yet. He has other priorities to consider: immigration, taxation, public policy, foreign affairs. Those are more important. Crypto isn't the top priority for him right now. But I do think he and his administration will be more friendly for crypto, have a dedicated regulation framework for crypto industry, which is really nice, right? I do think from policy to capital to technology, US and the Western world have more influence for this industry. But going back to Asia, I do agree. First of all, I think Asia has a lot of contribution for the industry, for the early days. They have the exchanges early on, mostly Asian-based exchanges. They have the mining companies producing hardware, the special gear to mine the tokens at early days. Also, a lot of traders early days as well. And then later on, obviously, there are a lot of hostile government policies like the ban on mining, ban on trading, etc., push a lot of people away from Asia. And then in the past couple of years, as we know, right, SEC, Mr. Gary Gensler started to do a lot of enforcement and crackdown for crypto in the US and the West. And then they push a lot of people to offshore. Asia is one of them, but also some people in Europe, Lisbon, for example, in Dubai, some in South America. So crypto getting global, which is good, I think, in general. With the Trump being elected and also regulation coming, getting a little more friendly, I do think things will shift a little bit. Depends on the particular industry, I would say. Some industry may be totally okay within US or within the Western world. But if they embrace global community, they embrace global user base, I think Asia is still a huge market for a lot of them. Such as consumer-based apps, for example. In general, Asia has a huge population. They embrace a lot of new technologies, open to any cultures and paradigm shift. There are a lot of younger people there. They are very good with technology. They can learn very fast. Also, as we know, the US dollar is pretty strong these days, especially with the interest rate is pretty high, right? A lot of people there, so in Asia, they can try to choose to work in crypto, even a part-time job or a freelancer, and earn dollar-based income, like USDT or USDC stablecoin. And that's a lot in terms of spending power over there. If you travel to Asia, you know, right? A bowl of ramen here in Seattle costs almost $20 with tax and 18% tip. Over there, they cost like, I don't know, $2 to $3 sometimes, or even $5, right? So a lot of people there, they can get involved in crypto, earn some income by trading, by doing freelancing work. At one point, they play games. There's a huge game called by running network, they play the game as an income, and sometimes they make more money than their real job, full time job, and that's how crazy crypto can be because dollar based income is huge for people living in emerging markets. Same thing for consumers or user base, right? If there are billions of people potentially become crypto users, and their adoption is pretty fast, especially now with a lot of crypto events going on there, and they see this crypto getting more relaxed into regulation, they're going to launch on more projects over there as well. I think the global distribution is true, and Asia is still a huge market in terms of population, in terms of growth. A lot of them have high disposable income as well to trade.
Yes, no, it's super, super interesting. Well, Dinus, last question for you
Sure.
here is, I know you dip a little bit into the memes. I don't know why we're getting so meme oriented today,
Yeah.
but it's pretty interesting, just like how much that's taken over the last couple years. And I feel like when memes first came out, most people thought they were silly, and most people still think they're silly, but you have more people playing it. So what are your kind of predictions for meme coins? Do they go away? Do they get even bigger? What's the thought?
Yeah, I don't think it'll go away. So to answer the question, I do think it's really fun, interesting community and cultural innovation, right? Starting from early days of the Unisocks, and then to later Dogecoin, the Shiba, and later the Bunk. It really creates community, really bring people together, right? And people love to talk about it. They like to socialize, they like to send each other tokens, kind of Twitter spaces, go to real life events, hang out together. And that was the early days. And I would say the recent frenzy of meme coin trading was pretty much 2024. And part of that's because a lot of people get rug pulled by a bunch of supposed to be legit projects, or some project the promise fell short. They paint a huge narrative, a lot of good talking points, paint a huge picture, big dreams. But when they deliver the product, the operation, some of the metrics aren't really satisfactory. And a lot of community, especially they, pay big dollars to buy those tokens, didn't really make money or even lose money. Obviously, they're bad, actors in the space as well. They can take the money, run, they can rug pull, all that stuff. So at some point in time, this crypto community or this trader or speculators thinking, let's screw it. All I need is a ticker to trade, right? Some candle charts, red and blue, or sorry, red and green. If you're supposed to be a legit project, didn't really fulfill the promise, how's that different from just a random ticker I play with, right? So I think some of these crypto native traders are starting to play around this idea, and it gets popular because all these people want volatility, right? A ticker with up and down, and some hype, they can play around. So Mipcoin's starting to get more and more popular in 2023, 2024. And a lot of people obviously make good money, right? And then they post on Twitter, become really viral stories. People share around, catch people's attention, and then get more people into this game. And also, at a certain point in time, a lot of crypto traders have a little bit, pushback on the what they call VC coins, Basically, that meaning this project, have a founding team. They got backed by big VCs, and those are considered quote unquote insiders because they get early access. They buy the tokens at early low price, and then they create hype, and then they push to the community, and then they launch the token on exchanges. Obviously, with a lot of marketing to promote it, and then a lot of the retail trader bought it, and then many of them didn't really make money or they lost a lot of money. So at some point in time, they had enough. They feel like, I don't need you guys. I don't want to be your exit liquidity, right? I don't want to just buy at high price. You can exit. I want to go in early too. I'm gonna create my own coin. I don't have the expertise to build a solid product or operation, but skip that, right? Skip that. We don't create product. We don't create a team. We don't create operation or customer service. We don't need that. All we need is a ticker and supposedly a name or culture or a silly picture, right? And then for that reason, I don't want to invite the VCs or institutional investors. All I'm open to do is to do a fair launch. Fair launch meaning there's no pre-sale to the founding team or institutional investors or private parties. Fair launch meaning I just use a tech or platform, launch ticker, and open to public. And then even as a founding team or founder, I need to buy the token myself. I don't get token for free. I need to buy them myself. Obviously, when I launch it at the beginning, the token price is really low, so I'm okay to buy because price is really affordable. And if it does well, then obviously other people will buy as well, and then the token will increase in price. And me as a founding team or founder, we can make money, or they call them developers, and that gets more attention. And then slowly this crypto community start to get in and say, hey, let's just do this. It's fun. It's easy. It's really honest. We don't need to brag about a project. We're gonna deliver. We don't need to lie about things. It's fair launch. It's honest. I got nothing. There's no product, no team, no operation, no marketing, no promise. Just a ticker, right? Believe it or not, you like it, you can come in. Everybody's welcome, and that's it. That's why 2024 was a huge year for meme coin frenzy. People start trading. They call them PvP. It's like a person versus person. Like A person sell the token to B person. B person may sell to C person. It's got PvP, meaning like they don't create real value. There's no increased size of the pie. It's just people's money put in the pot, right? And then people are trading against each other. Some coin can go longer in terms of their life cycle. Some die down quickly, few days, maybe a few hours. And with some platform like Pump.Fun, the token life cycle is a few minutes. Yeah, they launch it, and a few minutes later, it's done. Yeah, that's it. That's the end of the token. And now every hour they can push out tens of thousands of tokens. That's how the meme coin trading these days. But obviously, that's the community-based, like degen-based, nobody based tokens. But the other side, the celebrity is different, right? I think they talk about TrumpCoin a lot these couple of days. I don't need to repeat that. But before TrumpCoin, we have other celebrities. You have Mother, right? Mother token, which launched by Iggy Azalea, right? She's a singer. And obviously she launched a Mother token, huge hype. There are a few other celebrities too, Hollywood stars. Yeah. For some of you, if it's an internet celebrity, got into fame last year, I think, on YouTube and from an video interview. And then she launched a token as well. Rise up quickly, at one point, at tens of millions market cap, and then died down quickly, right, in a matter of days. Again, there's other celebrities launched these tokens in the past, and then now obviously Trump being the biggest celebrity, biggest influencer, he and his wife launched token a couple days ago, and that was huge. I think it'll be here to stay. Yeah. Trump's action actually, I think, will actually incentivize a lot more people to launch tokens. In the past, a little hesitation because people are a little worried about the potential consequences, lawsuits, SEC enforcement. Now, with the scary chancellor gone, Trump launched their token, potentially deregulation in the space. I think it'll be more meme coin coming, even from more celebrities or other famous people.
Definitely. Well, Dynas, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah.
All right. Give Dynas a hand.
All right.
All right. Renata, why don't you come up? Hello, Renata.
Hi,
How are
everyone.
you?
Good.
Do us a favor, introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi, my name is Renata Fairbanks. I am the founder of ACC and TNT. We specialize in digital assets accounting, so that includes crypto and blockchain accounting.
Nice. And full transparency, I work with Renata. I work with her firm. So what's going to happen now that, you know, actually, I thought I saw something that IRS is not going to, or is going to be a little bit more lax on the crypto taxes again. Did I read that right? Or did I read that wrong?
There's too much revenue on the line. So I don't want to respond right now. I don't think they would respond in that way.
Well, I thought I saw something saying that they're not gonna require
The digital assets form.
right.
Okay, yeah, that's been a back and forth thing.
Yeah. I know they want their money, but
Okay.
but yeah, they're not going to
Yeah.
require that form this year because that's been something they've been talking about adding, right?
Right. Well, it's already been instated effective January 1, 2024. So if you don't want to file it, I highly advise that you do, because I'm not sure how quickly this administration can knock that one out.
Gotcha. So when it comes to one of the biggest problems with crypto right now is you use crypto as payment, and you basically kickstart a tax event, right? Like, so if you buy something with Bitcoin, now it's a taxable event, right? So can you talk to us about that, how that works, and then do you see that changing?
I don't see it changing. Again, there's too much revenue on the line. It would be nice if that were the case. But with the new administration, as far as the US-based developed tokens goes, I think there is an opportunity where we can explore the taxability on that and whether it will be taxed in the US. But for digital assets like Bitcoin, for example, when you purchase a set of Bitcoin, let's say 1 Bitcoin, you purchased it back in 2012, it was priced at 6,000. That is your cost basis. So that's the most important number you can give to your accountant. And when you sell it, let's say you sold it when it hit its all-time high at 109,000 the other day, the difference between the 109 and 6,000 is basically your capital gains. And it depends on how long you held on to the Bitcoin during that time. Most likely it's a long-term gain. You'll be taxed at the long-term capital gains tax rate.
Yes, like $100 tax different. I'm just kidding.
You
$100
can try to report
gain.
that.
Yeah. Nice. Well, I'd love to just get your thoughts on, what do you see is going to happen in 2025, just with, new administration, regulations, the financial sector, et cetera. What are your predictions?
It's been such a whirlwind. Just going back and forth between Biden and Trump and who's going to do what. I think with Biden, I would have totally seen an era where the top 20 market capped cryptocurrencies would have been sustained and everything else banned. And I think with the Trump coin, which you didn't text me about, by the way, I missed out on that pump and dump. So I was completely unaware on Friday. I think.
What's Trump at right now? 41.
I mean, as much as I'm mad at the Haktua gal for causing a pump and dump scheme, I think with Trump, it's an indicator that decentralization is here to stay. And for me, that's an indicator that we have 4 years to continue building decentralized products. Not a long time, right? Because we've been trying to do this for 12 years. And I think we're seeing behind the scenes a larger degree of centralization. So this is the scariest era right now for us decentralized advocates.
Yeah. The only reason I'm pausing here is because I'm wondering, like, if it's decentralized, is it decentralization that people are advocating for?
No.
Or is it making more money that people are advocating for?
So I agreed with you when you mentioned to the gentleman, I don't know if he's still here, maybe in the back, when you said that you don't think that most people will want to adopt to owning their own keys and dealing with that. I think the companies, in the decentralized companies who are building the interoperability products like bridging to TradFi rails will be a key piece to it. And in the meantime, I think that the below 20 market cap coins will become like what we know as penny stocks. So I think they're here to stay for at least 4 years. We'll see if they'll be banned long term, but I'm not sure if there's much utility behind these coins. And I think it's really important to note that I think this is like a new version, as we all know already. It's like a new form of GoFundMe. So if you're a huge fan of Hawk2, if you're a huge fan of Iggy Azalea, by all means, support her network. And I think that's one way to go about funding the projects that you believe in. But as far as like the other top 20 market caps, I think they're actually building actual infrastructure for perhaps the centralized world. So we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah. So I'm a blockchain person. I'm not trying to go against what you're saying, but like my perspective has always been that no one actually cares about decentralization, maybe except for Bitcoiners. That's just my philosophy. And then everybody else more likes the idea of democratization, or like, again, it's just strictly my philosophy, but they kind of maybe call it decentralization. But that's not a popular point of view, because I think most people prefer to call it decentralization. But I think theoretically, yes, I agree in theory. So we'll see what happens. I don't know.
We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm not going to say their name, but they're this color and they love rocks, right? They like predictability. They want market quality.
Wait, cocaine? Crack? Oh, this is
they want predictability. They have huge asset portfolio that they're trying to manage, right? And decentralized projects are not predictable. They're not sustainable in their minds. So. Right.
That's kind of like where I like to go with all that. Is it like, and then even if the technology is decentralized, but centralized entities manage, high volumes of it, or own, high volumes of it. Like MicroStrategy, I think is a really interesting example, right? Like I love Michael Saylor. I think he's awesome. I think he's done a lot of great things for Bitcoin. But yeah, if MicroStrategy owns, a massive amount of Bitcoin, then, we have to trust that they're going to be good stewards of the Bitcoin, but they can also, move markets really fast if they wanted to, right? So now you have to have these elements of trust in institutions. And I just think that, becomes really interesting, how people start to justify that according to quote unquote Bitcoin ethos and so forth.
Yeah.
What else is happening?
Well, I mean, just to back more decentralized projects, I mean. So, I mean, we do need to come to a place where, we're Ubering, right? And that's all centralized. Perhaps somebody can build a platform where we can pay the Uber driver. I don't know what their name is going to be in the future, but just pay that person, whatever, like maybe they have their own token project. You can pay that into that token project and help fund them, rather than having Uber take a large cut. So you're kind of diminishing the G&A aspect of the fee that Uber is able to take, and that person is able to take more of the fee. So let's say like an 85% cut rather than 15%. And then, yeah, like for the case of Portland, so I live in city of Portland right now. So the Portland City DAO has been trying to build our own decentralized utility platform where we are trying to onboard cryptocurrency onto, like, we're trying to partner with different utility providers. The project isn't really going well because we're not well funded, but that's like another idea. Like maybe we can decentralize public utilities at one point. That's one of the projects that the Portland City DAO is trying to do at the moment. So
that could be pretty interesting, especially when you think about some of this renewable energy and call it like solar, where you like feed back into the grid, right? So like that could be a really interesting kind of way to think about how you apply decentralized technology to that. All right. Well, anything else you want to share with us for 2025?
I think you all shared the major hits. So Gary Gensler last day was yesterday, right? And now we have an interim. Do we want to celebrate over that? Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, thanks for joining as always. Give Renata a round of applause. All right. Well, we've been going for about an hour, and I don't have my charger connected, so it's going to disconnect here in a second. So we'll go ahead and wrap up here soon. But thank you, everybody, for joining What's the Store for 2025, not 2024. What's alive? That's what it should have been called. What's alive in 2025? So what's 2026 going to be?
What's in the mix?
What's in the dude? This guy's amazing. You're like Don Draper over there with your Mad Men lines. So next year will be what's in the mix for 2026. I'm definitely gonna make that Canva right now, so I don't. Yeah. For those that are watching online and those here, so we're Dana and I are actually going to put together a schedule for the rest of the year, so you can all know what's going to be happening. So just be on the lookout for that. Again, we want to just continuously grow this. I see a lot of you came with someone. I always like to say, next time you come, bring someone, and that way we can have more and more people, connecting and talking. And yeah, so thank you all. Have a great day. Make sure you're following us on our socials, and we will catch you next time.
Yeah.